Have you ever noticed how a young child asks the word why about 100 times a day? They are relentless, almost exhausting truth seekers. They want to know why the sky is blue, why gravity holds us down, why things work the way they do. But somewhere along the line, as we grow up, a lot of us make a silent trade. We trade that burning natural curiosity for the quiet comfort of the familiar. We finish our formal schooling, we settle into our routines, and we put our brains on autopilot. Welcome, everyone. Today, we are diving deep into the profound, unseen mechanics of lifelong learning. We are going to explore exactly why the relentless pursuit of knowledge isn't just a nice hobby, but the absolute most powerful habit you can ever build for your mind, your career, and your life. To truly understand why gaining knowledge is so vital, we have to look inside our own heads. For a long time, scientists believed that the human brain stopped developing in early adulthood. The assumption was that you were dealt a certain cognitive hand by your mid-20s, and from then on, it was just a slow, inevitable decline. But modern neuroscience completely shattered that myth with the discovery of neuroplasticity. Your brain is not a static hard drive that simply fills up until it runs out of space. It is a living, breathing, dynamic structure. It is far more like a muscle. Imagine your brain as a vast, dense forest. Every time you learn a new concept, whether you are discovering the hidden history behind a global corporation, mastering the geometric secrets of traditional carpentry, or memorizing the pivotal events that shaped a nation centuries ago, you are essentially blazing a brand new trail through that forest. At first, the path is overgrown and hard to navigate. It takes effort. But the more you study, the more you walk that path, the wider and clearer it becomes. Eventually, that difficult trail becomes a paved, high-speed highway. By continually challenging yourself to learn new, difficult things, you are literally generating new neural pathways and reinforcing old ones. This active rewiring protects your mind against cognitive decline and keeps you sharp, adaptable, and resilient no matter your age. But the benefits of learning go far beyond biological maintenance. There is a concept known as the compound interest of knowledge. When you put money into a savings account, it earns interest, and then that interest earns its own interest, growing exponentially over time. Information works the exact same way. Knowledge is not linear. It is highly combinatorial. When you learn a new fact, it doesn't just sit in a vacuum. It reaches out and connects with everything else you already know. Let's say you spend time studying ancient Roman architecture, and later you dive into modern supply chain logistics. On the surface, those two topics have absolutely nothing in common. But suddenly, your brain starts connecting the dots. You realize that the logistical brilliance required to build the Roman aqueducts is the exact same foundational logic used to move products around the globe today. The more building blocks of knowledge you collect, the more uniquely you can combine them to solve problems, create art, and understand the world. This is what separates people who merely copy others from those who truly innovate. The most brilliant minds in history weren't necessarily born with higher IQs. They just had a wider, more diverse library of knowledge to pull from, allowing them to see connections that everyone else completely missed. Furthermore, we are living in an era of unprecedented, accelerated change. The economic landscapes shift overnight. Entire industries can rise or fall based on a single technological breakthrough. If your knowledge base is stagnant, if you are relying solely on the things you learned 5 or 10 years ago, you become incredibly vulnerable to these shifts. Lifelong learning is your ultimate insurance policy. It gives you the mental agility to pivot when the ground moves beneath your feet. When you make learning a daily habit, you aren't just preparing for a specific job or a single test. You are training your mind to be comfortable with the unknown. You learn how to learn. And once you master that skill, no matter what happens in the world, you will always be able to figure out your next step. Finally, on a deeply human level, expanding your knowledge expands your empathy and your perspective. When we don't learn, our world stays very small. We become trapped in our own immediate experiences and our own biases. But when you read, when you study history, when you explore different cultures or scientific disciplines, you are essentially borrowing someone else's worldview. You begin to understand why people make the choices they make, why societies function the way they do, and how incredibly vast and complex the human experience truly is. Gaining knowledge doesn't just make you smarter. It makes you infinitely more grounded, humble, and connected to the people around you. It transforms the mundane, everyday world into a place of endless fascination. Thank you all so much for spending your time with me today and letting me share this deep dive with you. Your time and attention mean the world to me. If you found value in this exploration of the mind, please make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and share your own thoughts in the comments below. Keep asking questions, keep challenging yourself, and never stop learning. I'll see you in the next one.